All right, hi everyone. We are some members of the Best Thriller Books review team, and we're Five Angry Men. And my question for everyone is, what is your setting when you go to read a book? Where are you? Are you having something to drink? What is your typical setting when you go to start a book? So let's start with Derek.
My ideal setting is I've got the best leather chair in my living room that I will
blanket, slippers,
right,
right by the fire.
Yeah, right by the fireplace. If I get a chance, I'll sit there and I'll grab a book. Depending on what I'm reading, I'll grab a beer. If I feel like the mood, I'll grab a nice, glass of bourbon, and just sit there and enjoy it. And I don't care. I can shut everybody else off. They can be watching TV. I'm just in my own little world, and that's my spot. Getting in the chair and just getting comfortable. So,
is there a drink of choice?
If like right here, I'm an IPA guy, so I've got a couple really good breweries around here that we always make sure we have beer in the house from there. O'Connor Brewing in Norfolk and Big Ugly and here in Chesapeake. But, I like bourbon too. I'll drink a nice, Blanton's or, High West. Jack kind of turned me on to that because he always talks about he drinks High West bourbon, and I tried it. It's really good, and it's not real expensive, but
it's made out in Park City, I believe, right where he's at, isn't it?
Park City. So
it's really, really close to it.
It just depends on the mood, and it depends on if it's a school night, because if you have one bourbon, you're going to want two bourbons. And
school night, you've been out of school for like 85 years.
That's what I'm talking about. A work night, school night, work night, same thing. So yeah, it's just whatever mood hits you, but just getting a chance to sit and relax in a chair and go. That's it.
Eric, how's the mood hitting you right now?
Well, I've got one of these down, and I'll probably go have another one, and then maybe find someplace to finish up a couple books that I need to get finished up.
He's going to fall asleep before he makes 3 chapters.
No, you sound like my wife, Todd.
It's almost 6 o'clock. He's going to go get in his PJs and be in bed in 30 minutes.
Well, I already ate dinner at 3, so,
There you go. Blue plate special.
Lunch.
Blue plate special.
Hey, he's got to be up early to meet his buddies at McDonald's for coffee, too. So, I mean.
We walk the mall.
Go get the paper.
I ate that all.
See, for me, my drink will change with whatever I'm reading, and I don't have really a set reading spot. It'll be in a chair, on the couch, in bed, and then like I like to have a drink that works with whatever I'm reading. Like Greg Hurwitz, like, an Orphan X book. It's usually really terrible vodka, but it's still vodka. And Meg Gardner, I like to have red wine because her books are always the most bloody books I've ever read. And then sometimes just a good, I like IPAs and sours and stuff like that too. So I'll go with those for a lot of books, or just a bourbon. I'm a big bourbon guy. And Portland has, Steve knows, we have way more beers than any of you guys have. So.
No, I'm with you, Stu. I absolutely will drink based on kind of maybe the setting of the book I'm at. So like with Hunter Killer, Brad Taylor, as soon as it was in Brazil, like I, started making a caipirinha. Like I've got, all the goods to make
cachaça,
that. So
huh?
I got 3 different bottles of cachaça on in the liquor cabinet. So yeah, thank you. Actually, Mill, you might like that. So yeah, it absolutely will kind of sway on the setting of where I'm at. But for me, and I'm curious if this changes your guys' spot. If I've got a physical book, I like to read in our sunroom, which is what we do here in Florida. Because if I'm doing it on the e-reader, I get too much glare. So if it's a physical book, I'm in the back room that's just full of windows and get good natural light. But other than that, if I'm on the e-reader, I usually will, I'll read in bed, man. I read before I go to sleep every single night. So that's usually how I roll.
High maintenance over there, but hey,
super high maintenance. Yeah.
Get me my sunroom.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the most Florida thing ever. Also, please send me physical copies of books. I prefer them.
Yeah. Gabriel, I need another water, please.
Dude, 100%. Absolute water.
Bring daddy a water.
No, dude. I have them bring me coffee, man. They know how to work the Nespresso machine. Come on.
You say Nespresso?
Oh, yeah.
Of course he has one, right?
Of course.
His wife's Brazilian. Come on, he's got to have.
Yeah. Well, gotta love it.
Steve, what about you?
Yeah, well, I mean, speaking of kids, I mean, that's my big challenge is how do I find quiet time without the two kids, my clown show, right, interrupting me every 5 minutes with some nonsense about God knows what. So I honestly, I tend to split up my reading quite a bit. I read with breakfast because I'm the only one awake, and so I'm not drinking anything extra, really special at breakfast, water or coffee or whatever. But I'll try to steal some reading time during lunch. But then at night, before I go to bed, I read before bed as well, Todd. It's usually going to be bourbon, whiskey, scotch, something like that. And if I can somehow get some reading time over the weekend where my kids are off doing whatever and they leave me alone, then maybe an IPA or a local brew from Portland. But honestly, I'm kind of ashamed to admit it, but most of the time it's water because I'm reading during breakfast and lunch because it's the only quiet time that I get.
In the bathroom.
In the bathroom, right? Hey,
take it when you can get it.
In the house, I got to take advantage of it.
Right?
Right. That's right. Yeah, dig that.
What about you, Miller?
Well, I like all kinds of stuff. I drink sours, stouts, IPAs, and I'll be honest with you, it's not based on what I'm reading or the setting. It's more of the season that I'm in because I typically drink more stouts and porters during the fall and winter. And in the spring, I start getting into more of the lighter stuff, turning myself back to the IPAs because I don't want to drink a heavy stout in 95-degree weather here in Charleston. It's just not. It's heavy. But during the winter, it's a lot colder, warms you up a little bit more. So I'll say mine's more based for beer specifically is more based on the season. Now I have to be in a specific mood to drink bourbon, but I have some Buffalo Trace, some Blanton's. Basil Hayden's one of my favorites. I like a good bourbon. First one's on the rocks, and then the second one's usually straight after that.
Right out of the bottle.
Right out of the bottle.
In the face. No, but there's all kinds of stuff. There's some great breweries down here in Charleston. I hope to meet up with Todd and Derek, hopefully here on the East Coast here in the next few months, if we get an opportunity and share some of that with them. I know you guys out West, you guys got some great breweries too, but I worked up in Norfolk this past year for about 5 months and got to hang out with Derek and hit a bunch of these breweries up. And there's a lot of good stuff up there. Really opened my eyes to beers change with region too. So, I mean, you guys out West, like your IPAs completely different than, your New England IPAs versus your, I guess your Southern.
The West Coast IPAs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's so much out there. There's so much great stuff, but I can't say that mine trend with the book. Normally, my drinks vary on season and setting wise. I'll be honest with you. I got 2 kids. I work a rotating shift work. So if there's any time available and read at home, it's in my lazy chair sitting in the living room while the kids are playing or whatnot. So
he's making fun of Derek. He's doing the same thing.
Yeah, but you know what? He takes his to work, don't you?
That's
I'm jealous of that. I mean, I might read every once in a while at work.
In charge of a reactor, and he's reading.
Exactly. Man. No, so yeah, if you're talking about seasons, so I'm in Florida. We have hurricane and non-hurricane seasons. That's it. So I gin and tonic during hurricane season when it's nice and hot. But other than that, I put those away in the fall usually. I'm a big gin and tonic guy.
Well, Stu and I, used to, for all the craziness, would get together, have a couple of beers. But I think now with the new laws in Portland and Oregon, it's a little harder stuff.
I mean,
yeah, well, magic
when in Rome.
Read the same page 5 times.
Yeah. So
I'll be able to read it backwards and still understand the whole thing.
Looking forward to getting together with Stu and mixing it up. It's gonna be fun.
James Reese just stabbed me out of the book, right in the shoulder. Felt it.
Now,
God,
did I hear right, Todd? I can't believe I have to ask this, but you sometimes listen to music while reading?
Absolutely. 100%. It is rare that I don't listen to music while I'm reading. So whether that's usually it is soundtracks, always Barbie Girl, soundtrack, or what was I listening to the other day? It was just like it was every James Bond theme ever. And so I had that going on because it was in like a good action sequence portion of the book I was reading. So that was cool. But yeah, I absolutely will throw on kind of music that is oriented towards what I'm reading. It's kind of immersing myself in, almost a movie style. Having a soundtrack to your book is awesome.
Bentley does that when he writes.
Yeah, that's right.
He listens to like
he's a big soundtrack guy.
Yeah, soundtracks and operas while he's writing. So.
Yeah. I've snagged a couple of composers from him. Yeah,
sounds like something a serial killer would do.
Yeah, I don't know how you can do both those things at the same time. That's psycho talk.
No, but I studied my whole life like that. I always had to have music going on. I almost need that distraction.
Drown out the
What's
voice.
What's the line from Talladega Nights? He's like, "How do you turn up the radio volume while you're watching the TV?" He's like, "Why would you want to do that?" I like to party.
I like to party, man. It's just that simple. But no, I really do think it adds another layer to kind of the reading experience because you just get that extra emotion and feelings from the music as you're cruising through the pages. So I recommend it if you can pull it off. You should do it.
Can't.
Yeah,
it's too distracting for me.
I agree.
Yeah,
I listen to audiobooks all the time, and I can't even imagine reading a physical book and trying to listen to music.
It's great. I mean, you don't have music
turned down real low, because I'll sit if I have a book on my phone, and if I go to the doctor's office or someplace where they're playing music, I'll sit there and read, and
what'd you say?
Playing in the background.
Music.
Yeah, you've heard
crappy
of
it. Elevator
it's
music.
like crappy elevator music.
Yeah,
come on.
Listening to his son, Bing Crosby, Caroon.
Right. But Steve, if you need to kind of get away from the boys, their kids, like throw some headphones in, and be like, "I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I don't know what you're doing. I'm reading."
I can
But
do
I'm
that.
bleeding, Dad. I'm bleeding.
Playing, so
that explains a lot.
Try that.
Yeah. But then you still hear them. They just talk louder because they're trying to talk over what you're listening to. It doesn't work. At least mine do.
I'm getting good at ignoring them though. So father
That's
to
true.
Yeah.
Hey, if they're still alive in 2020, everybody wins.
That's all that matters.
Hey, you got a day left, guys. So.
Oh man, yeah, we're almost done. Oh, thank God. I can't wait for it. With the shit show. Absolutely. But yeah. So no one else, I'm shocked that nobody else listens to music. Truly. That is, I thought that was
not
a
on
normal
purpose.
thing.
Not on purpose.
I thought that was a normal thing. Apparently I am a psychopath and I'll own that.
Finally. All right.
Yep.
Now that we got that out in the world.
It's officially on record.
Yeah.
Ooh.
4 angry guys and a crazy psychopath.
Yeah. I'm gonna laugh when we get responses to this. Everyone's gonna be like, "Yeah, I listen to music. The rest of you guys are nuts."
No, nobody's gonna do that because they're not weird.
Everyone. I'm gonna go. I'm hoping for at least 60% of responses to be that they also listen. That'll make me less of a psycho.
I mean,
that number.
I don't know how you focus when you do that. Like, is your foot
ADD.
tapping to the beat the same time that you're reading? Like, how do you focus?
No, it does. It kind of fades into the background. Like it really does kind of just envelop.
So you're not paying attention to it?
Not really. No, it just kind of.
Why are you playing it?
Why are you playing it?
So it's kind of the same. Like it's the same thing as like why do you watch a movie with the soundtrack? Like that additional, just the pace of the song.
You're afraid of being alone, aren't you?
Oh my God, I love being alone. I wish I could be alone more. But no, it's just it's the reason like a good soundtrack can make or break a movie. It's the same thing for me. A good soundtrack while I'm reading can help push a book one way or the other.
So I think there would be a difference between a soundtrack and reading and like listening to something with lyrics.
Exactly. Yeah, I was listening to some Copperhead Road while I was reading Blacktop Wasteland. But there's some songs that you just know that you can kind of zone out to. But usually it's instrumental or soundtracks where it's just adding pace, rather than just like listening to the lyrics. So
I feel
Copperhead Road doesn't even fit that.
Dude, it's kind of southern. They're driving, moonshine.
Come on, I'm DJ Beef Stew. I know this stuff. Todd.
I'm just saying, that was the last song I had that I was listening to for that. But also read Blacktop Wasteland.
Dude, save us. I feel dumber having listened to this conversation. We got it.
All right. On that note, thanks, Steve. We are 5 Angry Men at the Best Thriller Books. Thanks for checking us out, and we'll see you soon.
See you guys.
Good night.
Cheers.